in particular, across everything that's happening in AI at the moment, the language models, the world models, and so on, what's closest to your vision of AGI?
What will happen after artificial general intelligence, AGI, becomes a reality, and how it will change our life? These are questions that need to be answered, and recently, in an interview, CEO of Google Deepmind, Demis Hassabis, shared his vision on how the world will look after the arrival of AGI. Let's take a look.
The things that Shane told us was that the kind of current economic system where, you exchange your labour for resources effectively, it just won't function the same way in a post-AGI society. Do you have a vision of how society should be reconfigured or might be reconfigured in a way that works?
Yeah, I'm spending more time thinking about this now, and Shane's actually leading an effort here on that to sort of think about what a post-AGI world might look like and what we need to prepare for. But I think society in general needs to spend more time thinking about that, economists and social scientists and governments, because I as with the Industrial Revolution, the whole working world and working week and everything got changed from pre-Industrial Revolution, more like agriculture. And I think that's going to, at least that level of change is going to happen again. So it's not surprising. Would not be surprised if we needed new economic systems, new economic models to basically help with that transformation and make sure, for example, the benefits are widely distributed. And maybe things like universal basic income and things like that are part of the solution, but I don't think that's the complete, I think that's just what we can model out now, right? Because that would be almost an add-on to what we have today. But I think there might be something way better systems where more like direct democracy type systems where you can, vote with a certain amount of credits or something for what you want to see. It happens actually on local community level. Here's a bunch of money. Do you want a playground or tennis court or an extra classroom on the school? And then you let the community sort of vote for it, right? So and then maybe you could even measure the outcomes, and then the people that sort of consistently vote for things that end up being more well received, they have proportionally more influence for the next vote. So there's a lot of interesting things. I hear economist friends of mine who are kind of brainstorming this, and I think that would be great if we had a lot more work on that. And then there's the philosophical side of it of like, okay, so jobs will change and other things like that, but then but maybe fusion will have been solved, and so we have this sort of abundant free energy, so we're post scarcity. So what happens to money? Maybe everyone's better off, but then what happens to purpose? Right, because a lot of people get their purpose from, their jobs and then providing for their families, which is a very noble purpose. So if that's, so there's a lot of, I think some of these questions blend from economic questions into almost philosophical questions.
Do you worry that people don't seem to be paying attention, sort of, or moving as quickly as you'd like to see?
Yeah,
what would it take for people to sort of recognise that we need international collaboration on this?
I am worried about that, and I wish that, and again, in a sort of ideal world, there would have been a lot more collaboration already, and international specifically, and a lot more research and sort of I guess exploration and discussion going on about these topics. I'm actually pretty surprised there isn't more of that being discussed, given the, even our timelines, there are some very short timelines out there, but even ours are 5 to 10 years, which is not long for institutions or things like that to be built to handle this. And one of the worries I have is that the institutions that do exist, they, seem to be very fragmented and not very influential to the level that you would need. So it may be that there aren't the right institutions to deal with this currently. And then, of course, if you add in the geopolitical tensions that are going on at the moment around the world, it seems like cooperation is harder than ever. Just look at climate change and how hard it is to get any agreement on anything to do with that. So we'll see. I think as the stakes get higher and as these systems get more powerful, and maybe this is one of the benefits of them being in products, is the everyday person that's not working on this technology will get to feel the increase in the power of these things and the capability, and so that will then reach government, and then maybe they'll see sense as we get closer to AGI.
Do you think it will take a moment, an incident, for everyone to sort of sit up and pay attention?
I don't know. I mean, I hope not. Most of the main labs are pretty responsible. We try to be as responsible as possible. You know, that's always something we've, as you know, if you followed us over the years, that's been at the heart of what everything we do. Doesn't mean we'll get everything right, but we try to be as thoughtful and as scientific in our approach as possible. I think most of the major labs are trying to be responsible. Also, there's good commercial pressure actually to be responsible. If you think about agents and you're renting an agent to another company, let's say, to do something, that other company is going to want to know what the limits are and the boundaries are and the guardrails are on those agents, you know, in terms of what they might do and not just mess up the data and all of this stuff. So I think that's good, because the more kind of cowboy operations, they won't get the business because the enterprises won't choose them. So I think the kind of capitalist system will actually be useful here to reinforce responsible behavior, which is good. But then there'll be rogue actors, maybe rogue nations, maybe rogue organizations, maybe people building on top of open source. I don't know. Like, obviously, it's very difficult to stop that. Then something may go wrong, and hopefully it's just sort of medium-sized, and then that will be a kind of warning shot to humanity across the bow, and then that might be the moment to kind of advocate for international standards or international cooperation or collaboration, at least on some high level basic, or, you know, kind of like what's the basic standards we would want and agree to. I'm hopeful that will be possible.
In the long term, so beyond AGI and towards ASI.
What I personally believe that as AGI becomes a reality, it's crucial to stress test our financial and economic policy frameworks. There's a good chance AGI is going to shake up the job market, transform how we work, and even make the gap between rich and poor wider. But what we really need the policies that can roll with the punches and adapt as things change. We're diving into exciting concepts too, like how everyone could get a paycheck just for being part of society, universal basic income, programs that teach people new skills for the ever-changing job market, reskilling, and fresh ways to think about taxes. It also means ensuring that the benefits of AGI are distributed fairly and that no one is left behind. Lawmakers must craft solid plans for when AGI starts changing the game. But the real question is, what will be government's role in post-AGI world? Historically, governments have supported education, health, and economic growth to strengthen their nations. But with AGI doing all the work, humans may no longer be seen as valuable resources. This could lead to reduced support. States may prioritize investing in AGI systems over supporting citizens and less human influence. As AGI takes over key functions, people may lose leverage over governments and businesses. The only key area is education and skills training. Policymakers need to invest in programs that equip workers with the skills needed for the jobs of tomorrow. This includes not just technical skills, but also soft skills like creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence. After the AGI becomes reality, there are two possible futures scenarios. The best case is a world where AGI-generated wealth ensures everyone has a comfortable life. It's like living in a richer version of Norway, some inequality, but high living standards for all. And the worst case is a dystopia where a few AI trillionaires control everything, and the rest of humanity is stuck in a permanent underclass with little power or opportunity. In my opinion, AGI will change everything, but we still have the power to shape this transformation. By addressing these challenges head-on, leaders can ensure that AGI enhances humanity rather than replacing it. The question isn't whether AGI will transform the world, but whether we'll adapt in ways that ensure a fair and meaningful future for everyone. What do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new around here, subscribe this channel for more AI news and updates.